One of the things I love about having a YouTube channel and a school community is I get to bring you new faces with new stories. This morning we have the one and only Jean here, where we're going to hear about her real estate experience and dipping the toe into YouTube. How you doing, Jean?
Great. How are you?
I'm doing very, very well. Well, do me a favor. Let's start this off with a quick introduction. Who is Jean? What are you doing? Tell us your story a little bit.
Yeah, I I started getting interested in real estate when I was around 35 years old. I am like work in Silicon Valley, W-2 job,
Yeah.
but didn't really, do anything. And then when I was 37, I got laid off.
Hmm.
So that was a very tough experience. Um, and then, thankfully, I found another job pretty
Mm-hmm.
quickly. And then in 2019, it happened again. I got laid off again. And so I think that was a big turning point in terms of thinking seriously about real estate. And I thought to myself, if it's happened twice in 2 years, it can happen again.
Sure.
So I thought, I should probably think about, a backup plan, something that where I don't have to be completely dependent on my W-2 job. And so 2019, I started, reading books, started kind of educating myself and really tried to learn what this, real estate thing was all about. And 2020, COVID happened, but that's when I really started to take action in terms of picking a market, finding an agent, analyzing deals,
Nice.
making offers. And it took me over a year, I believe, before I closed on my first property. I was 40 years old and I thought, okay, life begins at 40. A new a
Nice.
new journey, a new chapter in my life
Right.
at 40. So that's how I got into it. I'm still in the messy middle right now.
Sure. Yeah.
So, I hear you say, the first 5 years suck. It's a 10-year journey. I hear that all the time. And I'm in the middle of it. And
Yeah.
it is hard, like starting is hard, but I've
Yep.
realized the middle part is hard too.
Yeah,
Um,
it's hard for different reasons. Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
But again, I always just try to keep it real, and the first 5 years do suck because again, you don't know what you don't know.
Yeah.
It's going to be where you make mistakes, and again, mistakes in the beginning where you don't have the snowball kind of feel bigger than they really are. Um, but again, you started, right? You took action. I actually love the fact that you were doing the work for a year, writing offers, finding markets before you got a deal. I think a lot of people, a lot of people that I interact with, like suddenly decide real estate's the thing. They read my book, they want to repeat what I did, and they're like, I looked for a week and I bought something. I'm like, how could you know that's a good deal in a week? I mean, I couldn't do that. That's crazy.
Yeah, and it was I want to say, much longer than I thought it would take. Like I thought I'd buy a deal in like I don't know, a month or two or three, and it took much longer. Like I was getting impatient. I wanted to quit. The emotional, there's an emotional
Sure.
thing that you go through as you're going through all those, analyzing all those deals and making all those offers and you have no experience. You haven't
Yeah.
bought
You go
any.
high, you go low. You go.
Yes, yes. So there is that too,
Yeah.
I don't know how I I got through it now looking back, but yeah, it
Well,
was.
you got through it because you knew it was a process and you knew it was a journey. And I also think at your core, you probably knew it was worth it, right? It's again, you had an experience, a couple of layoffs in very quick succession. You were building what I've sometimes called a piggy bank, right? You have these assets, they increase in value. Worst comes to worst, you can always sell one, extract equity. There's just, those plan B. Right. So I like what you've done. I always like to hear about the first deal. What was the first deal?
Yeah. So the first deal was a single family home in central Arkansas.
Okay.
I bought it for $123,000. I put
Okay.
20% down. It was turnkey. So I had to even if it was turnkey, there were still some things that needed to be repaired and whatever else. So the total all-in cost was like 30,500, including make ready.
Okay.
Um, I think where those, books really helped and that education really helped was that during when we got into contract, I was already interviewing property managers. So this was an
Nice.
out of state rental, and I knew that I couldn't manage it myself. I
Hmm.
had a W-2 job. I just felt like I wasn't competent to do that. So I started interviewing property managers. I talked to four. So before the property closed, I had locked in a property manager. Um,
Nice.
and I think that was for those who are starting out, I think it was helpful because he also walked through the property before we closed. So that gave like additional
Right.
insight,
Another set of eyes.
another set of eyes, because I was out of state. Like, what do I know? Right. Yeah, so he walked through the property and kind of gave his insight and, just
Nice.
made it more, helped me
Made it more real.
be more real, yeah, about
Nice.
what I was getting myself into. When it closed, he listed it the very next day, and he found a qualified tenant in like 2 weeks. So it was
Nice.
actually like it exceeded my expectations at that time, because it was, quick.
Yeah.
Quick turnaround. He find a qualified tenant. What was also a nice surprise was that we closed on April 7, that first deal, but the mortgage wasn't due until June 1.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah, so I was like, oh, okay, that's nice. Like that's a really nice surprise. Like I don't have to pay for that
Yeah.
first mortgage. Um, so yeah, that's what that first deal was like. I was
Nice.
analyzing deals. For a year, and I just couldn't find anything. My target was 8% cash on cash
I like it.
return. At that time, I couldn't find anything. And then I think I heard one of the, real estate thought leaders at that time saying the first deal isn't to hit a home run. The first
Mm.
deal is to get in the game.
Yeah.
And so I was like, oh, okay, like I just need to get in the game. So I
Got it.
dropped my target return to 5%. I didn't know one rental at a time at that time. So I didn't know the whole like analyze your market and figure out what an average deal was like. I didn't know what an average, I was just shooting for
Okay.
8%.
Got it.
But I couldn't find anything that would hit 8%. So
Right.
when I found something that would cash flow like that would give me a 5% yield, I was like, okay, maybe I try
Nice.
this out, see if it works. So that was my
Nice.
first deal.
Now, I think you got it at a really good time. I'm just curious. What's your? I'm assuming you got a 30-year fixed interest rate. Is it
Yes.
like below 4?
Yes. 3 point, yeah, before 3.675, something like that.
Oh, that's like real money right there. That's amazing. Anybody who
Yeah,
did it at 21, that's pretty awesome.
yeah.
So,
I
so
kind of
how's it been?
got lucky.
Yeah. Well, again, that's a true asset. I mean, that's a loan you'll probably never pay off. So at least
Yeah.
not for 30 years. So pretty cool. So you've
Yeah.
owned it a couple of years now. How's it been being an out of state landlord?
It's been okay. It has its own challenges. That I did a video on that first deal, and um it cash flowed really well the first year, and then the second year was okay too. The third and fourth years, so last year, there were just a lot of repairs. So I thought, first deal, like, oh, this is how it is. There are no repairs, but they do
They
come up.
come.
That's why I say, like, I'm in the messy middle. Like, you
Right.
you don't know what you don't know. So yeah, it cash flowed really well the first year, second year as well, and then third year, that's when like things started breaking,
Yeah.
turnover, vacancy, things of that nature. So it's still cash flowing, but not as much as that first year.
Yeah, I love it. Well, you've just mentioned it. Let's talk about it. You've just launched your first or your YouTube channel and put up your first video. I'm always curious. Why did you take that leap? Because again, it's really scary for a lot of people. But typically people have a mission, right? They're trying to help folks. So I'm curious, what was the spark for you, Gene, to put it out there? Because you're out there in the public domain now. You just never know what kind of weirdos and whatnot's going to come. Why'd you do it?
Yeah, so I got laid off again in 2023, and so I thought, okay, I've been looking for a job. It's been, it's been tough, but I also was kind of so I've been like trying to learn stuff. I watch a lot of YouTube videos, I read a lot of books, and whatever else. And I felt like I needed to, like, I felt like this voice was telling me stop consuming stuff and start creating.
Producing, yes, yeah.
Yes,
Sean Cannell talks about that all the time. Absolutely.
yeah, start creating something. And so I was like, okay, if I create something, what am I going to create? And I hear a lot of, the content producers that I've listened to say, when you're over 40, you have a lot of experience and a lot of wisdom that could be helpful for people. Um,
Absolutely.
so I thought maybe there's like things that I know about that could be helpful for some people. And I had friends who would ask me,
Yeah,
how did you get started in real estate?
I love
I
that.
also do videos on traveling using points, like travel hacking. So I have a lot of
Nice.
friends who ask me, like, can you create a video on how you took that trip and you didn't pay cash, you just used points? So I thought maybe, if I create videos that could kind of help people save some money,
Yeah,
help people, with, who want to get started, what it's like what's like keeping it real, like what it's really like it's not,
that's
as you
awesome.
mentioned, it's not looking at a market and buying the first thing you
Yeah,
see. It's kind of a lot of work up
yeah.
front.
There's a process, and it does. I mean, that's why I wear this hat all the time, right? You got to do the work. It's not easy. So I don't think we've said the name of the channel yet. What is the name of the channel?
Yeah, the name of the channel is Midlife Money and Miles.
Oh, that's nice. I like that. Midlife,
Yeah. So
money, and
it's
miles.
kind of documenting my midlife journey with investing and travel hacking.
I think that's a very powerful combination. And I think you're going to open yourself up to a pretty wide audience by doing both travel hacking and real estate. And again, the beauty of doing content creation over 40 is you don't have to fake it, right? We've got decades of experience
Yeah.
and just share what we've seen, good, bad, and the ugly. And the beauty of this, Gene, is you're going to find your tribe. They're going to come back, and it's you're on it. You're on a pretty good path.
Thank you for the encouragement.
Absolutely, absolutely. Do you have any questions for me, perhaps?
Um, Maybe in relation to like real estate and being in the messy middle, I'm kind of in there. Like, what
Mhm.
what was your mindset when you would go through
Yeah,
like all that messy stuff in the middle, all the mistakes, all the things that you didn't know?
yeah. So I've told this story, but I don't think I've ever told it in this detail before. So there was a book at the time by Gary Keller. It's blue and white. I think it's called The Millionaire Real Estate Investor. I'm looking at my shelf to see if I have it out here. I don't. I think it is blue and white. I think that's what it's called. But while the book is okay, in the back of the book there were these like 15 or 20 summaries of people that got to the finish line. And when I was in the messy middle, and my messy middle seemed to last years, and I just remember having to read those stories over and over again just to feel better. Because again, it's like you don't know, like I didn't have anybody in my network that had done this. Nobody in my community owned more than one rental. And there was nobody I could lean on. And it was Gary Keller's book that allowed me to go, okay, clearly, if they can do it, we can do it. And this is not a joke. I believe I read those stories probably 3 or 4 years in a row, probably 5 days a week, because the messy middle's messy and stressful and you feel like you don't know what you're doing. And it was that experience that caused me to write my second book, write that 15 Conversations with Real Estate Millionaires. The reason I wrote that book is I wanted to take the notion of Gary Keller's 2 pages, because that's all they were. They were like a page and a half per person. And I found 15 different stories and threw them all in a book because I wanted people to survive the middle. Because if you're going to give up in the middle, it's like you're almost there. You're almost to the peak. And giving up now would just be sad. So
Yeah.
it was that experience. And again, I was stressed. I had my bad days. Olivia had her bad days, and we I'm sure we talked about giving up, but we didn't, because we always knew that, if so-and-so could do it, we could do it. If so-and-so did it, we could do it. And it was Gary Keller's book that got me through that.
Thanks. I'll look that up.
Yeah. It was a good one. And again, it's really funny. The book is pretty thick. I think it's like 1.5 inches thick. But there's only like 25 pages at the end of these different stories. And I just read those over and over again. So that's what I did.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'll look that up.
Cool. The other thing I can tell you about doing YouTube is you may be doing this already, but for any other new creators, one of the things you should aim for is a schedule. Like, I'm going to load something every Monday at 9 or whatever the date and time is. I think when you get an audience that's growing that can expect a new video on a schedule, I think that really helps with adoption.
Yeah. Thank you. Yes.
Yeah. Any other thoughts or questions?
No, that was it.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. I'm in the messy middle. So it's trying to keep it real as well. It's not all sunshine and rainbows and
no, unicorns aren't everywhere. That's right.
Yeah.
Well, one more time, Jean, what is the channel?
It's called Midlife Money and Miles, where I'm documenting my journey with money and travel hacking in my 40s as a midlifer.
There you go. And folks, don't forget, she is in school. Send her a note. Let her know that she did a great job. And just keep supporting each other. Jean, take care. Bye.
Thank you so much, Michael. Appreciate it. Bye.
Yep.